Now I think it's perfect time for me to catch up on something that I wanted to talk about for a pretty long time, and that is being the whole Looksmaxxing community. This is something that a lot of people are talking about because they are starting to realize just how big and also extremely weird this community is. I think it's really funny and also sad at the same time that we are starting to reach the point where people are willing to believe anything on the internet. It doesn't matter how weird or dumb it sounds, if you just make it sound cool enough, thousands of people will hear that information and go like, yes, this definitely have to be true. I'm not going to do any of my research at all. I'm just going to watch this one video and just automatically believe everything this content creator says. Because why would anyone lie to me on the internet just so they can go and make some money? And Looksmaxxing is a prime example of that. But before I go into the community and some of their weird techniques that they decide to use, I want to tell you my experience that I had when I first ended up discovering this whole community, because I feel like a lot of people had the same experience too. Before I get into this, I actually need to talk to you, because I'm extremely disappointed. For the whole time, none of you thought to warn me that I was off-center for the whole time I was recording this video. You could even tell me that, hey Lua, it looks like you're a little bit off-center. You should go and fix that. You knew, and you didn't do anything about it. How could you do something like that? I thought we were growing a relationship. Every single time when I think to myself that I'm growing a closer friendship with my audience, this is how they ended up treating me. How could you? I thought we really had something. Now I look like an idiot. When I first heard about Looksmaxxing when it was first blown up, I just heard about the idea of the community, and I actually thought it was pretty good. I ended up hearing it was a bunch of people coming together and actually putting in effort to improve themselves, make themselves look better so they can feel more confident. And I thought that was something extremely good. Because right now in society, I hate that because of memes. When you say that word, you start cringing. But right now, we have a problem where a lot of people just give up automatically. They don't even put in effort to try to improve their life or try to do something. They just lay down on the ground and go like, I need to give up. There's no way that I'm ever going to be able to succeed or be as good as this other person. So what's the point of even trying? And that is something that I do not like. I feel like that you should put in the effort to actually try to do something, because I'd rather be the person who tried and failed than the person who just sat down and did nothing all their life. That's just my opinion. So every time when I hear that people are actually putting in effort to improve their life, I think that is something extremely good. So I thought the community was a good thing. Until I actually started to look into it, and I learned that people are actually unironically joking, and then I just thought to myself, nope, this is terrible, and this is just another example of a bunch of influencers using the insecurity of young men so they can go and make some extra money and get some viewership. And man, it is extremely sad how this is just happening more and more as time goes on. Now, one thing that I want to talk about is some of the extremely funny techniques that Looksmaxxers use, because I just think it's hilarious that people are actually doing them. And the three that I want to bring up are bone smashing, jalkin, and then also stretch maxing. So first, let's start with bone maxing. This has to be the most hardcore Looksmaxxing thing that anyone could do, and it's something that a lot of people aren't talking about, and I really don't know why. Most people are bringing up jalkin, but I think this one is probably on the same level. Basically, the idea of bone smashing is you take something like a hammer or a rock and you basically just hit your face with it until you crack the bones around your jaw so it can regrow and look better, which I have absolutely no idea how anyone was actually able to fall for something like that and they actually think doing that would work, because that is absolutely insane. If you've reached a point where you are actually just breaking the bones on your face to look better, it's not worth it. And it also does not work. There's literally no proof that you doing that is going to make you look better, and I have absolutely no idea how this meme started. Now, I think this whole thing originally started as a joke, but for some weird reason people saw it and they just picked it up and went like, yes, this works and I need to do this to maximize my look, and it only led to people injuring themselves. Wow, Who would have saw that coming? But you know what also started as a joke, but now people are unironically doing? Jalkin. Now, this is a big topic that a lot of people are talking about on the internet. Even Moist Critical made a whole video talking about it, basically warning people not to do it. This is something that has a really long history on the internet, and I think it's extremely weird that people now are unironically doing it. So to get the speedrun origin story of Jalkin, this was something that started way back then, early on the internet, like 10, 15 years ago on places like Reddit. There was this joke going around where people will go on forums and give the worst dating advice to people as a joke. Like they'll tell them, hey, you want to look attractive in front of a girl? This is what you need to do. You need to walk in front of her and just pee your pants immediately. She's gonna think you're extremely alpha because you're willing to do something like that. That's because a lot of people knew that people do it, and tons of people on the internet just thinks it's funny to see other people suffer. So they'll go out, do the advice, and then obviously when it fails, they go back on the Reddit forum they heard the advice from and complain, and then people will just go and make fun of them. A lot of people fell victim to just this absolutely sick thing that people did on the internet, and it's still happening right now. Jalkin was one of their advice, where they say if you go and do this, it will automatically go and make your meat bigger. And plot twist, it does not work at all. So I'm gonna explain Jalkin in the most YouTube friendly way possible. So basically, you take out your sausage and you try to stretch it to be longer. Now, shocking to absolutely no one, you can't do that, it doesn't work, and the only thing it leads to is you injuring yourself, because there are a lot of people who ended up jalking way too hard and they had to go to the doctor. And that just sounds like the most embarrassing thing of all time. You walk up to the doctor and you're like, hey man, I need you to go and do some surgery because I can't pee anymore. And the doctor is like, why? I ended up jalking too hard. That is something that ended up happening to a lot of people. Please do not do this, but a lot of people in the Looksmaxxing community are. And then the third tactic that I want to bring up is Smushmaxing. Basically, people do this so they can go and get hunter eyes. Basically, the whole point of this community is that they just hyper obsess over like certain features that you need on your face so you can go and look extremely good. If you don't have these features, you're ugly. Now, this makes no sense because there are tons of people in the world who don't have stuff like hunter eyes, and they are really good looking men. But in the Looksmaxxing community, that doesn't exist. And one way for you to get hunter eyes is to literally smush your face. Yes, squeeze your eyes and mold it upwards so you can go and look better. Now, shocking to absolutely no one, this doesn't work because you can't change your genetics. And I'm pretty sure you doing this is most likely just going to damage your face in the long term. But that's not stopping people from doing this. Now, even though we could sit down and make fun of these people all we want, the sad reality is people are doing this. Like, for a good example, in the comment section of the video that I just showed you, there are tons of people in there asking, how do I fix this? And also tons of people giving advice on how to do this properly. So people are doing this. And plus, if you go to the Moist Critical video that I ended up talking about, the one where he made a whole video telling people not to joke, I want you to go and read the comment section of that video because it is something extremely sad. There are so much people there saying that Moist Critical actually saved them because one, they were joking, or two, they were thinking about doing it. And that is just something extremely sad to me, that this is the point that we have reached on the internet, that literally people now need funny internet man, you know, goofy goober Moist Critical to tell them not to do something extremely dumb. This is the point that we have reached, which is crazy. But before I leave, I want to bring you one more thing. Most of the time when people think about this whole Looksmaxxing space, they only think about men doing it. But that's not true, because currently right now, Looksmaxxing ended up reaching the whole female side of the internet. Because I ended up finding this whole TikTok account where it's basically this girl who takes random women on TikTok and just Photoshop their face telling them how to look better. This is one that's getting extremely popular right now. It has 11 million views, and she just took a random video of someone just listening to a song. Because the whole beginning part of them saying, I want to look better, be brutally honest, straight up, this isn't real. This girl just made up a fan fiction just so she can go and take someone that she thinks is unattractive and just edit their face and say, hey, this is how you look good. You look pretty ugly right now. Do this, and now you look extremely extremely good. You are a true alpha sigma female, and men are just gonna fall for you. Which is, again, extremely funny and sad. Now, before I end this video, I need to do the one thing that everyone does when they talk about a topic like that, and that is give you some advice that I think is right because I said so. As I said multiple times, I think it's really good that people want to improve themselves and look better. Again, I just absolutely hate it that we are now in a place where so much people just, one, give up or are just completely content with like being mediocre or not being happy with themselves. I think that is something really sad and something that we should not be pushing. So I think wanting to improve yourself is good, but here's the thing. You don't need any of these dumb things to look better. You don't need to bone smash. You don't need to jouk. And you also don't need some random person on the internet to see your face and show you how ugly you are. If you want to improve yourself, you can do it with just extremely healthy things that everyone can do for free, okay? And it works. Get better sleep. Take care of your teeth. Take better care of your skin. Dress better. Workout, stuff that does work. And yes, the Looksmaxxing community does bring up stuff like this, but I don't even consider that Looksmaxxing because that's basically just doing stuff that your parents should tell you to do. Just stick to those things and you would look better. Anyway, that's it. This is just something that I want to talk about. My name is Lua. You have a good day or night. See ya.